Hello there, guys. Welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. What a beautiful day for a double upload, eh? Unbelievable. We're going to get right into it without waiting. What in the blue hell went down last night? I hope you're having a pleasant morning. I hope you're having a pleasant afternoon. It has just gone past noon, so we are going to now say afternoon. But unless you're a Man United fan, because that was absolutely horrific. What happened? 4-0 to Crystal Palace. Listen, I know we got battered by Arsenal the other week, 5-0, and that was embarrassing on multiple levels. But at least, I mean, we had some players missing, but still, I don't really use that as an excuse. At least we lost the top of the league. Man United losing out here to 14th place Crystal Palace, 4-0, and it could have been more. It could have been more. What an absolute calamity by Manchester United, and it sums up everything. Earlier on in the season, when Man United were hovering around 5th, 6th, and we were in the trenches in like 12th, 13th, I said, and I stick to this, yeah, I've got it on Twitter. I need to get it back up. I said, Man United are just as bad, if not worse than us. It's just the league table's not reflecting that. And that is important, but Man United are playing horribly. And many people were like, well, look, the table doesn't lie. The table doesn't lie. All right, if the table doesn't lie, well, now Manchester United are behind Chelsea. United this season, for different reasons, I want to say for different reasons. For Chelsea, I think it's one direction. For Man United, it's another direction. For Man United, whether people like it or not, it's on Erik ten Hag. End of story. He's got everything that he wanted. Everything was at his disposal. We've seen regression since last season. It's not improved. His way and methodology is clearly not working. It's on him. It's on him. Simple as that. It's on him. Man United Man United actually have a very well-balanced squad when you look at it. You could argue maybe in defence they're lacking a little bit. I mean, when they have to flipping recruit Johnny Evans, you know something's wrong. But overall, on paper, no, they've got a decent side here. A decent side that should be doing better than what they're doing right now. But Erik ten Hag is not going to be the guy to take them to where they need to get to. And last night was a clear example of that. Crystal Palace absolutely wiped the floor with them like they are a 25-year-old mop that's been used in the canteen at Selhurst Park for all these years, right? Absolutely used and disposed of. Easy. And why I'm doing this isn't really just because Man United lost 4-0 to Crystal Palace, but things have opened up for Chelsea in ways that I didn't think it would. I said yesterday on my video, I said, look, Crystal Palace need to do us a favour. Crystal Palace need to knock points off Man United here. United need to drop points. If United don't, with 3 games remaining, I still think it's too tight for us to try and get Europa. Lo and behold, we got a 4-0. So listen, I'm here to tell you, right, all the Chelsea fans watching, and I think this goes out to Newcastle and Man United fans too, right, respectfully, because, you know, I'm not here to cause enemies. I do respect other fans. But in the spirit of the game, I would like to quote Emma Hayes. Emma Hayes, who's leaving Chelsea Football Club at the end of the season as the women's manager, conceded the title when Chelsea lost 4-3 to Liverpool the other day. And then Arsenal went and done Chelsea a favour by beating Manchester City, and now mathematically it's blown wide open again. I think with 1 game remaining or 2 games left in the women's title race. Chelsea beat Bristol City 8-0, and they needed the goals and they got them. And Emma Hayes at the end come out at her last game at Kingsmeadow and said, it's not over. It's not over. And I'm here to tell you now, as someone that did come on and say, look, I think Europa is too far. I think 6th is too far. I don't think it's going to happen. I didn't expect Man United to falter against Palace. Like yesterday I said, well, now they have. I'm here to tell you, it's not over. It's not over. Chelsea, you have the chance again. It's back in our hands. Kind of. We do need Newcastle to drop points. But that's about it. We need Newcastle to drop one game. What will actually help us? And this might be too much to ask now because Man United are all over the place. You see, now I'm looking at that Man United win and I'm thinking, at what cost? They got battered 4-0 to Palace, but at what cost? Because Man United have to play Newcastle. At the same time, whilst we are playing Brighton, which is the game after, we got Nottingham Forest next, Newcastle play Manchester United. With the way that it stands now, we need Man United to beat Newcastle. Not even draw, because the goal difference is too large. We need United to beat Newcastle. And then we need to win all our games. If we do that, we get 6th. Done. But is that asking for too much? Because clearly Man United don't know what they're doing. It's like now, look, yesterday I come on and say that Man United are capable of beating Arsenal. And they kind of are. But after yesterday, I'm like, really? How? How are they going to do it? United are a mess. United are a mess, an absolute mess. Casemiro was made to look like he doesn't know how to play football. Anthony's been outscored by Thiago Silva this season. I don't need to say anything else. But overall, United was just a mess. It was horrible. It was just horrible. For Man United, it was great for all of us and for Crystal Palace specifically. Crystal Palace, by the way. Can we put some respect on Crystal Palace? Crystal Palace are on a run right now. I think they are the second most informed team in the league. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, Man City have won 5 out of 5. Crystal Palace have won 4 out of 5 and have drawn the other game. Arsenal are 4 out of 5, but they lost their other game. Crystal Palace are the second most informed team in the league right now as of the last 5 games. Maybe more, but I think the last 5 games. Oliver Glasner has come into Crystal Palace and has just, I don't know what he's done, right? But it's unbelievable. So shout out to Oliver Glasner. What a change at Crystal Palace. Michael Olise, by the way. Shout out Joe Shields. Joe Shields wanted Olise at Chelsea. We couldn't get him. He was held hostage at Crystal Palace. We couldn't get that over the line. Joe Shields was the one that brought Cole Palmer in. Joe Shields is the one that brought Lavia in. We're still yet to see Lavia. Big question mark. Let's see what he does. But I'm sorry, after the track record, I think now I have high hopes for Lavia. We'll see. His track record is phenomenal. So Joe Shields, respect. If it was up to me, I would replace Winstanley and Stewart with Joe Shields. I would put Joe Shields as the main director one, and I would demote the 2 into recruitment analysts, just like they were at their previous clubs. Put them back in their previous roles, yeah? And if they're not even good at that, then get rid of them. But Joe Shields, for me, knows what he's doing, needs to be promoted. But Crystal Palace and their players, Mateta as well. Mateta looked like flipping Drogba. I mean, unreal. Early on in the season, he didn't look like he knew what he was doing. He looked low on confidence. He looked like he was always that almost guy. Now, that game against United, unbelievable. Anything comes to his feet, boom, finishes it. Clinical, fantastic. But Palace were absolutely playing United off the park. Playing them off the park. Onana has no idea what he's doing, by the way, as well. United is just a mess. It's just a mess. It's an absolute mess. But it's a mess that I think will get fixed. Ineos and Jim Ratcliffe have just walked through the door. They're seeing all of this. They will fix things. They will put things in place. They will amend things. And I think Ten Hag will get sacked. And I think that's the correct decision. You could argue whether some players belong at Manchester United. I do agree. I don't think there's players there that belong at Manchester United. I think there's maybe a few, tops. So I think that will be addressed. I think United will improve into next season. I think they will. I think they're going to attack this summer aggressively. But as of right now, I'm here looking at a Europa League spot. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't want to be here looking at a Europa League spot. Yeah? I'm not that guy. I want to be looking at a Champions League spot, minimum. That should be the bar of Chelsea Football Club. That should be where we are, right? But we're not. We're not. And this season, it's impossible. So, I would rather Europa than nothing. Because with Europa, it does 2 things. It opens the door to get into the Champions League by going on to win it if we can do it. And it also gives us the schedule that I think the team now needs to get used to, because that's the sort of schedule we're going to be getting with Champions League football anyway. So I wouldn't want us to go completely in blind into the Champions League schedule. I feel like it would be good for the club to adapt to a schedule that we need to play 2-3 games a week, numerous times. Even Thursday nights, that's going to be harder than the Tuesdays and Wednesdays that you get in a Champions League week. So that's the sort of schedule that I think we need to start getting used to again. Because we can't go 2 seasons in just playing 1 game a week and having all those injuries and just waiting for 1 game a week and just having that and then having a harder schedule and then complaining about it. Nah, let's get into the meats and potatoes. Let's get stuck into this heavy schedule and let's get used to it. Let's start adapting to that sort of scheduling and that timing, and it would be coming with a Europa League schedule. So Europa League, plus financially, it does help having Europa League. Conference League doesn't. I don't want Conference League. Right now, I do not want Conference League. I know some people, like myself, earlier on, before we started getting crazy injuries, I did come on and I said, I would like to have Conference League just so we can win all 3, by the way. We can be Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League winners. No one's done it. No one's done it. But the injuries we have, the medical department we have, the problems we have, right? It wouldn't make sense. Financially, Conference League doesn't bring in anything. There's no point. There's just no point wasting the energy. Europa League gives us a possible pathway into the Champions League, although next season I'll be looking for top 4. I'm sorry. Like I said yesterday, if Pochettino is under pressure and he's making adjustments because he's under pressure and we're now seeing results, well, great, because we need to set a standard. We need to set levels and we cannot lower them, no matter what. So I want top 4, minimum, next season. Minimum. I ain't letting that go, because that's just where we should be. And then we need to do whatever it takes in order to build a team that's going to get that position. So that should be the minimum. But Europa League also does give us another possibility into getting into the Champions League. It helps us financially, and it gets us used to the schedule that we need to start getting used to again. So I'm very much here for getting 6th. Right? Now that the door has been blown wide open again, just as I thought it was about to get locked, thank you, Crystal Palace. Big up to Norwood, big up to Selhurst Park, big up to Morley's. They absolutely, you know what they did to Selhurst Park yesterday? They turned it into a massive chicken shop. And then they brought Manchester United in and they fried them. Proper fried, bargain bucket, massive, 4 wings and chips, big man. 6 burgers and 3 set of fries, boss. That sort of Morley's sort of settings. Yeah, that is what Crystal Palace done to Man United yesterday. Absolutely fried, cooked them sideways, all sorts, different pieces of chicken all over the place. Yeah, and I would know because I'm born bred South London and I know that area very well. So it is what it is. But the door has been blown wide open again. The way that the table stands now, with 3 games remaining, Newcastle 56 points, Chelsea in 7th 54 points, United in 8th 54 points. All having played 35 games, 3 games remaining. The schedule now, Chelsea have Nottingham Forest, Brighton, and end the season at home to Bournemouth. Newcastle have to play, once it loads, Newcastle have to play Brighton next. I never thought I'd say this, but come on, Brighton. Flipping hell. That's the only time I'm going to be looking at Brighton and hoping they win a game. Yeah? And then they play Man United at Old Trafford. Beautiful. If Man United can win that game only, that would be great, right? And then they finish the season at Brentford. Manchester United, on the other hand, Manchester United have to play Arsenal. Arsenal this Sunday. Ouch. And then they got to play Newcastle, and then they got to end the season at Brighton. Brighton have to play all of us. Listen, Brighton, look, Brighton, you could do something massive here, yeah? I could forgive you for everything. If you lose to us, but you beat Newcastle and Man United, respect. Respect. Aye, Paul Winstanley, if you want to do something useful, right, at Chelsea, pull some strings at Brighton and get them to win those 2 games for us. How's that? Yeah? You want to do something that's Brighton related, go and do that. Knock on their door and get them to up their game for those 2 games only and get them to down tools against us. That would be fantastic. That would be phenomenal. But that's how it stands right now for us. And like I said earlier on, the door's been blown wide open. It is back on. As I thought it was finished, as I thought there was no chance, yesterday's result has absolutely blown it wide open. There's a 2-point gap between us and Newcastle. We are in the driving seat compared to Manchester United now because of the goal difference. We need Newcastle to drop 1 game. And this is where we need to look at ourselves. And this is where I wasn't so sure before. We need to look at ourselves. We need to win all of our games. Simple as that. Chelsea, if we drop 1 game, it's finished. It's finished. We cannot drop another game. We cannot even draw another game. We need to win every single game. Go to Forest, kill them. Go to Brighton, kill them. Bring Bournemouth to the bridge, execute them. Simple as that. We ain't got a choice. So Chelsea, it's up to us. Are we going to do it or are we not? Quoting Emma Hayes again, it's not over. It's not over. So let's go. Come on. I had no idea that I would be fired up for something towards the end of this season. But I am, and I'm here for it. Because I've been waiting for something like this. So let's see how it's all going to end. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. I will be here later on to address video number 2. It is a double upload day. You guys are getting that today, so make sure you're here for that later on tonight. There is Champions League tonight as well. PSG Dortmund. Let's see who makes their way to the final of the Champions League. Dortmund are in the driving seat right now. But I will be here for a video later on to address all the news and what's happening elsewhere, and Chelsea too. So I will see all of you there. Thank you all so much, people. I'll see you tonight. In a bit, people. Look after yourselves. See you tonight. Take care and peace.